Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, aka Q&T, so just dive in. And let's start off with this tweet here from Quant's official account over on Twitter. We do see as the Fin stable board, well, this is the financial stability board themselves, prepares to release its plans on global digital asset regulations. Gilbert Verdian spoke with Rosemarie TV at Forbes, and this is a 1/6 thread. We do see he says you've got forward-thinking jurisdictions like Europe and Switzerland who are very clear on different types of crypto assets, and now with the EU, you've got MiCA, where it's really defining what crypto asset means and what a crypto asset service provider needs to do to access the market to serve and sell to consumers and to businesses. We're in the middle of the transformation of money. The financial system has the opportunity to evolve something that's fit for purpose for the next 30 to 40 years. Having intelligence built into the digital assets, into traditional assets such as securities and also money, it's transformational. And this happens every so often, like every 80 years or so, we see a full revolution of currency. And I think that this is going to be the biggest one since the inception of debit and credit cards. And in fact, I would argue that this is going to be the biggest technological revolution behind payments and finance in the history of technology. And I even said this in the XRP video from earlier today, where I was talking about the greatest wealth transfer of history. I mean, I don't think people realize what's happening here. Like, we are seeing a full-on transformation of money, but also the entire financial system, the entire monetary system that we utilize on a day-to-day basis is being fully evolved and transformed for the next 30 to 40 years. Like, this is going to be the biggest innovation ever around finance and around the entire monetary system. And everyone is a part of this entire history that is watching this video. You should all be proud of yourselves to not only be a part of this entire market this early on, but to be a part of something this big. And I do believe that Quant will play a vital role in this major innovation. And we do see over here from Quant yet again, great highlights from the Gilbert Verdian at the QuarterCon 2022. We are seeing traditional financial institutions adopt DLT because it can help them grow. They can get exposure to new customers, accessing new funds and ETFs, which they couldn't before. And yes, when we look at all these major traditional financial institutions, these major giants around this space, they're diving in. You know, we've seen a flood of institutional investors into crypto in the last couple months. You think that this is a big surprise? No, they know the power and the potential behind DLT. In fact, you know, the BIS, the IMF, the World Economic Forum, they all know the power behind DLT. In fact, it's funny that we mentioned QuarterCon here because a major giant behind this space has been R3. And in fact, we actually do see over here R3's Elisa DeCap recently joined SDX Global, as well as a few other major names, to discuss the post-trade settlement benefits of a DLT infrastructure combined with the existing fixed-driven reconciliation settlement workflows. And the funny thing about this is, right, is that it's R3, but it's with 6 digital exchange. Now, we've talked about SDX in the past. In fact, we're going to be talking about 6 in this video, but we're also going to be talking about the SDX exchange. Because it plays a vital role with Quant as well. And I don't think that a lot of people realize this. So we've been focused on SDX for a very long time, since going all the way back to February of 2021 when we first started to see some breadcrumbs around SDX working with Quant. And we do see SDX Web3 is live with its institutional custody service for crypto assets. The service allows institutions to safely and cost-effectively store and transfer crypto assets without having to deal with related operational and technical complexities. Now, I think that this is great. I would love to know how they are doing this. I mean, I just want to know the players behind this. But around this institutional grade custody, the funny thing about this is that when you look at this, you might think, okay, well, this isn't really much, right? Especially when you go over to like SDX's website. I mean, some of these are like giant names. I mean, you look at some of the names behind their network, and you do see like F10, Future of Finance, GBBC, Interwork Alliance, ISSA, which is International Securities Services Association, R3, and then World Economic Forum. And then you do see down here their local network. Again, this is some of the major names behind SDX, right? And you're just like, okay, well, yeah, we know about some of these major names. They've been a part of this space for a while. But when you look at 6 themselves, because if you come down here, you could say we are a 6 company. You go over to 6 company, and here's where you really kind of see how large of an opportunity this is. Six was established by over 120 financial institutions with the purpose of strengthening the competitiveness of its owners, clients, and financial markets in general. It is a role Six has been rigorously pursuing since its inception. However, as new technologies allow for groundbreaking innovations that will lead towards the transformation of the entire financial market infrastructure landscape, Six must rethink how to best fulfill that role in the future. Now, again, I take you back to the beginning of this video where they were talking about the transformation of money. The entire financial system will be evolved. What are they talking about here? They're talking about the exact same thing. And this is in hands with 120 financial institutions. This is absolutely huge. And again, you can see some of the major targets down here. You know, they're really kind of looking at secure, stable, and efficient infrastructure for conventional and digital assets, really kind of looking at bridging the opportunity here between the legacy system and DLT. Again, you know, who would be fit for that? Who really would be the key player around this? So, again, is there any confirmation of Quant working with them? Not technically, but then we go over here and shout out to Greg Lunt 27. For the second time in 2 months, Gilbert Verdine has been invited to speak alongside SDX Global, the world's first fully regulated digital asset exchange. It's also the second time SDX has deliberatively tweeted QNT rather than just tagging the company. SDX defines Quamfy. And here you guys have, from SDX, what do you think it will take for blockchain interoperability? Read our view here, sdx.com/blog/interoperability. Let's discuss. Tech advanced like QNT. Interesting. This is from 2,200 votes, and it's an 89%. That's absolutely huge. And then over here, again, here are some of the major panelists, and there you have Quant. And again, you have R3, BCB, and the future of finance. Massive giants. Are traditional finance and DeFi on course for convergence or collision? And here is the quoted tweet from SDX. Meet SDX, Quant Network, QNT, and Super Oracles at the Future of Finance event and deep dive into the topic of security tokens, their use case, and also for blockchain technology and how they can transform the economics and the operating model of the securities industry. I do think that Six with SDX is a huge area of focus. You could check out some of the, I don't know if they have their full-on partnership list over here, but they do have the substantial amount of money that they are moving, per year. Their operating income of 2021 was about 1.5 billion, which is not too crazy, but they do have about 1.2 trillion dollars in trading volume. In terms of, this is with Swiss francs, so you'd have to convert it. But they also do have a ton of employees working under them. They have a ton of major, companies under them as well around the financial institutional grade sector. They are also the backbone of the Swiss and Spanish financial centers as well. So they are leading a major race around digitized offerings, and I think that this is a key, crucial area for, like I said, Quant to play a role in, because again, they know about Quant Network. They understand what Quant is doing, and I think, like I said, this would be the perfect partnership for them. And also, by the way, Six Digital Exchange is continuously expanding. We actually do see over here the Six Digital Exchange, SDX Global, has signed its 4th Swiss bank to the blockchain CSD. Another major announcement from SDX. This is huge. I really do think that we will continue to see major expansions like this. Now, what I also want to mention is some of the major partnerships through Quant that we do see into the trade financial area. So shout out to Son and L11, but we do see partnerships still going strong. QNT DLT API gateways in the stack, 280 million trials. Check out the thread. Here we have from Moby. Learn how your organization can get involved at dlt.moby/join. Again, they're quoting with Quant Network. A few other major players here as well. And we did break this down back in, I want to say January, honestly. We broke this down a while back, but this is from Moby. They are a major blockchain infrastructure. They are focused on transportation as well as identity. You do see some of their major tech partners like IBM, R3, Consensus. You do see some of their major members as well. Some of these members you probably know. I mean, I don't... I'm trying to think if I know any of these companies. I mean, it's not like we don't know BMW, Hitachi, Toyota, Hyundai, Honda. These are some of the biggest names out there in terms of the, car industry. You have Accenture down there. even the European Commission. I mean, like, these are giant names. And what do you see down here? Like, so what is MOBI? Mobility Open Blockchain Initiative is a global consortium of industry-leading automakers, technology-based startups, and other mobility players. 20 financial institutions, 140 corporates. Like, this is the domino effect that I told you guys we will see. Like, we will see some major expansions to some of the largest, and I'm talking about the largest players out there. And this is just the beginning. This is also why I say, like, yeah, Q&T, like, if we do see major pullbacks, it's an opportunity to jump in on those. And it's not because I think that, short term that Q&T is going to go to $100,000, but no, I think that long term, I think that Q&T really could hit some of the higher projections around Bitcoin. I mean, like, this to me is the modern age Bitcoin. I've always said that. And a lot of people laugh at it. A lot of people think that's a joke, whatever. 33% less supply is not a joke. Fundamentals off the charts beyond Bitcoin's level is no joke. Okay? When we see mass adoption of Q&T similar to Bitcoin, like, you got to remember, right? We already hit $400 and we were less than 100,000 addresses. Think about that. Less than 100,000 holders of Q&T, and we hit $400. Okay, just to put that in perspective, okay, there's 43 million Bitcoin wallets out there, and its all-time high is $70,000. I do believe that the institutional grade and the corporate grade network effects of something like Quant would shadow Bitcoin's run. I honestly think that it's going to be one of those moments in time where it's just going to be one of the biggest moves in the market that it makes. And again, I'm not saying FOMO in. I'm just saying that this could happen in the next 3 to 5 to possibly 8 years. By 2030, this entire market will know Q&T's name. They will know Quant. They will know Gilbert Verdian. They will know what interoperability means. Everyone will know what interoperability means. I've always said the end goal of crypto is to have this infrastructure built out on crypto and blockchain, and we basically are seeing that. I mean, like, listen, these are not small names. These are blue chip names that people know about. I mean, if you don't know about Ford, if you don't know about GM, if you don't know about BMW, I mean, like, you would literally have to be, living under a rock. And this is just one of many threads that Son and L11 put together, where we do see major connections to some of the largest names out there. And this is just the beginning, because you look at some of these other major names like SDX, and you see some of the people that are backing just the SDX exchange, the World Economic Forum, Interwork Alliance, R3, like, these are huge names in the game. And, like, listen, they understand the value proposition behind crypto. I mean, R3 by itself, we've broken down R3 on this channel many times with the Zinfin and XDC. They're a giant, and these are like the main companies that are fueling the institutional grade FOMO into crypto, and it's through DLT adoption. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As those up to you all, have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.